whenever we come to JLC Live, it's really interesting for us because a lot of the people who attend are remodelers who we get to talk to about painting. You know, remodelers who want to learn more about finishing things. We're kind of the flip side. We're painters who kind of cross over into remodeling scenarios.
Our outline is real loose. It's more bullet points that we want to try to cover and talk about that have created problems for us, situations that have come up with dealing with PVC on trim. One of the first things I wanted to talk about is PVC as a building material. If we never had to cut this stuff, it would be super easy to use. It's when we cut it, what happens to it and what does it do once it's installed. Do you leave your PVC unfinished? If you do, what steps do you need to go through to get it to look the way you want it
I'm
to
looking
look?
at the stuff going, okay, it's definitely porous, but at the same time it's brittle. That's unusual behavior for any type of painted substrate. It's unusual for something to be that porous. Porous usually indicates a soft condition. Brittle usually indicates the opposite. So there's a little bit of an oxymoron.
It's extremely porous. It just doesn't feel porous because that surface is so hard. Which leads me to caulking. So we're gonna go forward so we can go backwards. Is when you put it in, blade it as little as possible in the sense that leave as little behind as you can because less is more with caulking. Wipe it clean with a rag and do not touch it again. So you can't leave fat edges of the caulking in there. You have to clean it immediately. Get it set and really let it dry. When you guys are caulking around wood, how long are you leaving it there before you paint?
Hours.
It's hours, right? The old saying, just let it skin over, doesn't work because the way you're brushing with waterborne products nowadays, you're just going to pull it back out.
Well, even the white, we noticed, you know, we purchased, you know, not knowing two different brands, two different companies. We put them up, we got the plugs for them.
Yep.
The plugs were blue, like a light white.
That light pale, right?
Pale blue. Then we had this skirt board running around the whole entire rim joist of the porch that we had to rip off because now it's got those different color, and one splice was a different color because we used a 1x10 of AZAC and a 1x10 of whatever.
Yep.
So it's different product, different look, and I think I heard different cells, like some are open more.
This surface are not all the same
Right.
between companies. And we talked yesterday, for example, about creating sheen with paint. Well, this is sheen. Well, if they don't match, the sunlight will show you that. So there is a lot of discrepancies in what you're getting. Our recommendation is, if you're putting it in, make sure it all came from the same place, the same vendor, the same pile, if you can get it.
I won't go out on a customer's house and put up a product that I haven't experimented with, and probably like most of you guys, your house is one of your experiments, whether your wife understands it or not. The way we ease ourselves into any type of new product, whether it's a paint or wood substrate or whatever, is to put it on something and watch it and hopefully do it in a non-customer situation. They're not putting their information out from necessarily a user standpoint like us. They're putting their information out sometimes from a legal or liability standpoint and trying to minimize risk, which doesn't do really any of us any kind of favor.